I doubt that Tom Brady has been told no, nor has he been fired in a long, long time. I know, we all know his story. You know, he was a backup at Michigan. He was a backup in high school, blah, 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 blah. But that's a long time ago. That guy has not been fired in a long time. But Fox, his employer, paying him $37.5 million, they need to get out. I can't believe they're not getting out. So they now have, on top of the fact that he's not any good at his job, Jeff, do you say he's terrible? I don't know. No one cares. And that's the problem. No one pays enough attention anymore. And it's not for lack of trying by Fox. It's not a lack of trying by Tom Brady. We just don't care. When you don't care when somebody's in the media business, that's not a good thing. But not only is he, in my opinion, not very good, nor interesting as an analyst. There's just nothing compelling there. The best I can do, the only review I can provide is meh. Meh. He's got a newer face. Meh. So that's all I've got. Maybe you have something else. But it's not just that he's meh. That's a problem. That should be the only job description, not to be meh. His new ownership status makes him even worse at his job by definition, and Fox should bail. I have no idea what the contract says. It's probably pretty ironclad. It's 10 years. You know, we talk all the time about these stupid player contracts, quarterback contracts that are paralyzing. Look, this is not going to paralyze Fox, but they did this deal before he was even finished playing. The bet was he's so famous. He's seemingly a pretty sharp guy. He's a good-looking guy that has no wrinkles in his forehead anymore at all. So surely it's all going to work out. If we just stick a famous person in the booth, then all of you are going to think it's cool and tune in. You're tuning in anyway. So that's not a problem. The issue is, how do you make the game better? How's the production get better? And the production gets better if there's more interesting elements to it, and he's not one of them. But they're paying him $37.5 million a year for the next 10 years. He makes more money in this 10-year deal than he made in 20-something years of playing pro football. Okay, well, that's not even the entire story. I think it gets a lot worse. In case you haven't heard him, and you haven't, because you don't care. There's nothing compelling. Remember, the word rule is, do you come away thinking, hey, I learned something new. I found something funny. I found something interesting. I found something compelling. Then you find yourself telling other people, do you know what Tom Brady said? That's how you know. That's how you know if the talk show host matters. The analyst matters. So here he goes. I don't even know what these clips are exactly. The first one I think is him. Oh, man, it's awkward. It's awkward. I guess he's doing this segment where he tells you the best teams, and just because it's Tom Brady and he has no wrinkles in his forehead, it must be good.
Well, there were some great games this last weekend, some great finishes, and this is how my power rankings finish up after week 6.
Tom Brady power rankings.
Coming in at number 5
Sound
this
effects.
week, the Baltimore Ravens. After taking care of Jaden Daniels and the Commanders at home, Baltimore has won 4 straight games.
No way.
Good
Tom.
luck finding an offensive category that the Ravens don't rank first in. Total yards, rush yards, red zone, you name it, they are at the top. Derrick Henry, he continues to look unstoppable.
No.
He leads the league in rushing and touchdowns.
Nutty.
Let's see if Lamar's Ravens can stay hot this week.
Let's do it.
As they
Get some
take on my
flames and
former
some
team in
sound
Tampa
effects,
on Monday
Tom.
night. At number 4, the Houston Texans,
breathe,
and
producer.
even without star receiver Nico
Trying like
Collins,
crazy.
CJ Stroud, and the Texans, they put up 41 points in Foxborough on Sunday.
No.
That's tough to do.
Oh,
that
it is?
defense, led by Will Anderson, gave Drake May fits. They sacked him 4 times. They forced 4 turnovers. They're proven they're a force to be reckoned with offensively and defensively. CJ and his team head to Lambeau for the first time in his career against
No
Jordan
way.
Love's Packers. I can't wait to see those young QBs duel it out.
Me either, Tom.
At number 3, the Detroit Lions. What a performance Dan Campbell's Lions put up Sunday in Dallas. I was there watching. They put on quite a show. They put up 40 points in back-to-back games. That's the first time since 1962. That offense.
It's like a Duran Duran music video, man. How many more sound effects can we get in there?
About a minute 30 more.
Oh. Did somebody sit in the studio and say, man, he's boring. Just do some stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
They had some flames going. We had that bad music bed that sounds like you're in a nightclub. We got like a talking little ram to the side of it. I mean, it's just somebody in the production studio said, oh, man, this guy sucks. What can we do? Anything you want. Just make it look like an acid trip. Okay, well, that's like a weekly segment that no one knows nothing about. Then I think this was last week or the week before. Again, the effort being made. Their studio show feels like everyone wears a diaper. It feels like everyone has soup. Just feel the age of this show showing up. They decide to try some crosstalk with the charismatic Thomas.
Cowboys are taking on the Saints today. Of course, part of the broadcast team calling the game, along with Kevin Burkhardt, our Tom Brady. Welcome, Tom. Good to see you again. Let's get right to it here. We talk about the big wins for both these teams in week 1. Who is it more important to win to in week 2? New Orleans because they beat a crappy Carolina team, and so people say, it was nothing? Or Dallas just because they're the Cowboys and there are always expectations?
Well, they both got a lot to prove today. This is a really tough matchup for both teams, but being here in Dallas as a home opener, I saw Jerry Jones out on the field. He's excited about today's matchup. It's a tough battle. I think both these teams, it's a tough matchup between the two of them.
Stop. I really can't take it. I mean, I feel like the cliches are going to come out any second. I told you before, he's like a 9th grade football coach in the broadcast booth, and he's trying really hard. The guy's the best to ever play the game. He has no wrinkles in his forehead. He seems like a good dad, and he's trying really hard at this, and it just is so clunky. But now it's worse. This is, you can't be in this business and now have the deal that he has. You can't. If you are, you suck at the job. Here's what has happened now. Because I'm going to tell you that you feel free to disagree, but you can't be interesting. You can't be objective. You can't be critical with the rules that he's agreed to now that he's a part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Here you go. Here's the story. It says, now that retired quarterback Tom Brady is part of the Las Vegas Raiders ownership group, he's subject to severe restrictions as a broadcaster. Brady was unanimously approved to become a part owner of the Raiders. He now owns a 5% stake in the team. These Brady rules. Are you ready? Brady is not permitted to be in another team's facility. He is not permitted to witness practice. He is not permitted to attend broadcast production meetings. You mean his job? He can't attend broadcast production meetings, but he's works for the broadcast team, but he can't go to the meetings. Not the meetings are good. No, very few meetings are good. I'm just saying that that's his job and he can't go. All right. He is prohibited from publicly criticizing game officials and clubs. You know, that's kind of the job. Or what? I mean, he can't criticize officials or clubs. So, I don't know. Let's just say, for example, let's play along here. Let's just say he does the next Cowboys game, which he probably does because I feel like he does every Cowboys game. So they're not supposed to talk about the controversy of the last 2 weeks. You know, the most interesting thing with the Cowboys is their owner's a nut job. An unhinged nut job. So Tom Brady, as an analyst, is not supposed to talk about that. An expert on the sport is not supposed to talk about the Dallas Cowboys coming apart because their owner is a drooling fool. Oh, okay. So what is he supposed to say? My pal Jerry is here. Got to talk to him earlier. He's got some new dentures. Feeling great. What is his job then? And there have been, for the most part, NFL officials get it right. For the most part, replay gets it right. But there have been bizarre replay occurrences the last couple of weeks where replay has got it wrong. So Tom Brady, the analyst, can't point out that replay is getting it wrong? Oh, okay. So he's just supposed to be, he's like Mr. Rogers of the broadcast booth, just be nice about everybody? He is subject to the league's gambling policy, and he's subject to the league's anti-tampering policies as well. I mean, I guess he can't do what Aaron Rodgers does and go and recruit guys for his team. Something like that. But the point is, look, I mean, that's outrageous. If you employed him and you're paying him $37.5 million, and this is your number one person, this is the business that you're in. You are in show business. You are all about buzz and you're all about ratings. And now you are told, because your number one employee, the most expensive guy on your payroll, the most important face to your broadcast, now that he's 5% owner of the terrible Raiders, he can't do his job. Oh, okay. So I'm sorry, what does he say then? What would any one of you say? If you had these rules, you wouldn't criticize officials. You wouldn't criticize clubs. What does that even mean? You can't. Could anyone with any common sense whatsoever talk about the Dallas Cowboys right now? If I said, go, you have 30 seconds. There's not one single person that wouldn't have a very critical and justifiably critical thing to say about the Dallas Cowboys Football Club and their general manager. And he's not supposed to do that? That'll be entertaining. Let's go. Let's do the... Maybe we'll just do more of this. He'll just smile a lot with no wrinkles.